Training administration has perhaps one most critical element, and that's assessing the needs accurately of the people we're going to be training so that our training scratches where it itches in terms of their needs. It's very important to know what the gaps are of the future trainees before we get into a situation where we're training them. And of course this has to do with resources, because we don't want to be telling people things they already know and wasting time out of production for people who are in training sessions that may be irrelevant to what it is they're doing. So it's very important for each individual in the workforce to be assessed and to be able to express into a process what it is that they need to improve their performance. Of course, we know we have underachievers as well as overachievers, but what we're really trying to do in the process of training is take people from one level of performance up to a higher level of performance. And in fact, one of the models that we often use is showing the gap above a short person who's standing beside a tall person. Now that tall person really represents what our expectations are in terms of performance, in terms of their productivity. And if they're underperforming, we need to get that short person who's maybe under-contributing to rise up to the level that we expect in their performance. Now, to do this, job analysis has to begin, because we have to really understand what it is that that tall person can do, and what it is that the person who is short of that mark needs to learn in order to rise up to that mark. And so from a job analysis, we usually establish what's called a job description. And that job description allows us to do evaluations and assessments of different people to see what the gaps are. It may also help us in terms of other things in human resource management, such as planning their careers, such as linking them to other people in the organization and seeing the interplay of functions within an organogram, for example. But essentially, what training needs analysis is about is trying to find what it is that a person needs to learn in order to bring their performance up to expected levels. So a training needs assessment needs to be done scientifically. It takes some time. It takes input not only from the person whose training needs are being assessed, but from the people who work with them, particularly if they're subordinate to the superiors in that relationship, who may be the ones who are watching their performance and may be feeling that they are underperforming somewhat. Training needs assessment. It's a very critical part of the administration of training, and we will probably find that we'll put much more time overall into the assessment of their needs than into the very training itself, because identifying precisely what it is they need and not taking them out of production for long periods of time is what this is about. And it's why it's so important for the training administrators to get it right when it comes to training needs assessment.